Howdy y'all, it's Samir here, and I have 3 sessions for y'all. This is during a time where I was coming off of an ankle injury. Basically, I was doing physical activities when I shouldn't have, and I landed on the ground wrong, and my ankle popped, and all of a sudden my ankle was swollen and purple. So anyway, this is my first time coming back, and as you can tell, I kept falling. I was struggling for my first session. I think this was the first session at least, and I just couldn't get any progress on this V4, so I decided to opt out for something more my style, which is this dynamic move. I did it one-handed when I really shouldn't have. I really should have opted out for 2 hands, but you know, I'm just scared of commitment, and I finally figured out this V3. It was used as a confidence booster to set me up for this next boulder, which is a V5, so I can set it all up to crash and burn whilst trying something much harder. Not my style. I don't do well with boulders, so there's that. Got this little heel hook going on, which is nice, but it doesn't really set me up for this next move because I'm so far away from the next holds. But yeah, just like the same story with that V4, that slabby V4, I couldn't get that V5 going. I was pretty close. I felt like it was close, but alas, I couldn't finish it. So do you know what I do after a very hard climb that I couldn't complete? I go to an easier climb to boost my self-confidence, I tell you. And it's this back and forth where I gain my self-confidence and then bring it all the way down once I go for a hard climb. Has it ever worked where I completed a hard climb after an easy climb? No. Will it ever work? Probably not. But will I keep trying? Yes. Should I stop? Probably. But anyway, I am trying out this V4 slab. I'm having a tough time balancing on my tippy toes on this one. But what really got me through this boulder as far as I got was the climbing community. A lot of people were trying out this boulder for the first time, and a lot of people completed it, some people didn't. We were all working it together, especially me and this guy on the left hand side. We kind of trauma bonded amongst this boulder, but he was ultimately able to complete it. I wasn't able to, unfortunately, but overall it was really nice and encouraging how everyone was trying to give me tips, and I was very glad, especially on a tough day like this where I couldn't complete a climb at all, especially ones that I really wanted to complete. So for the last climb, I have this yellow V4, which I don't know what to call it besides difficult. I couldn't figure out the body positionings to make myself have an easier time with this boulder. It felt like I was always fighting against it, and I just didn't understand the body positioning at all. But I did have a group of people who were cheering me on, and I ultimately failed them. To start off my next session, I climbed this Dino V3. I enjoyed it a lot. The first move is having to jump towards this half semi-circle sphere jug. If you're able to get the height for it, it's pretty easy to grab. It's like a pull-up bar in a sense. The reason why I like this climb is because there's little techniques that you have to do to make the climb a lot easier. And I was able to teach my friend how to do this. He's not that confident in dynos, so this was a huge confidence booster for him. And there's this little trick at the end that you have to do to make sure you're able to press onto the final hold, which it's always nice to apply some techniques here and there. So speaking of technique, do not follow what I'm doing on this slight overhang V3. I tried this little heel hook bobber, but I ultimately cut feet. I'm not quite sure how I would not cut feet there. I just needed to apply more pressure on the footholds, I guess, but overall it was just very difficult to not cut feet there. I tried to figure it out afterwards, but overall I finished it. I hope to get better to not do that again. So while we're on the subject of climbing technique, I do not have any of that, so I didn't read this route at all. I just saw a bunch of holds and I'm like, I can get there easily, just gotta get one of them and I'm good. I don't know what made this next move easier at all, because like I said, I didn't read it. I didn't bring my hips in at all, and ultimately I failed, and I wanted to do this another day in my life. So do y'all remember at the beginning of the video when I said I was coming off an ankle injury? Yeah, that's very important for this boulder problem right here because of this move right there, where I was in extreme dorsiflexion and I put a lot of pressure on my ankle where it popped again. Like my whole ankle felt very insecure, which made my whole foot very untrustworthy. I opted out to continue through the pain because I was like, I'm gonna finish this climb. This is a couple more moves left. Yeah, no, that was a dumb move. I should have fell off immediately because like that landing was very harsh. Yes, sirree. And I ended my climbing session for the day because I was in pain. So I waited a bit before climbing on my next session, and I revisited this V4. Had to be very methodical because it's a slab. Gotta make sure I get all the foots right and everything. And the trick that I remembered having to do was really leaning on the right side while I'm trying to match my hands on here, because I'm really trying to release my right hand. If I'm able to get my left hand on there, this climb is pretty much done. So, oh, I lied, almost fell off. Psych. And yeah, that was pretty much the end of the V4 slab. Pretty easy money. Just took me 20 attempts, but still. Anyway, next up is this coordination V3. It might have been rated a V4, but I would grade it a V3. And one of my special talents is to make a climb look more difficult than it actually is. Hence what I'm doing right now. I really wanted to flash it, so here we are. Flashing the whole thing. Let's go. Ooh, there's a lot of controversy with this climb right here. It was graded a V4. Some people thought it should have been a V5, V6. I would have graded a maximum of V5. And the reason for this is because the first dynamic move was very difficult to grab onto that pinch and press at the same time. And the second move wasn't that much easier either. You had to really launch yourself and trust your left foot to press onto that little sloper area. You had to make sure that you weren't stuck in the middle position at all, because in a lot of boulder problems, the middle position is like the worst position to be in. It's very uncomfortable. And then just trust your feet at the end to make sure you're able to send it. But overall, I was able to send it, and I had a lot of great people rooting for me.
Yes. That's really cool. Get low on that right hand. Pull on that. There you go. Nice. All right.
Yeah, the community really made me happy, and here's my friend singing.
'Cause night is night that I fall for you over again. Don't make me lose my mind. Dude, you're climbing so emo right now.
Anyway, I hope to pump out more content consistently. If you guys want to, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Peace out, Girl Scouts.